feel like as pooped if I actually were on the dance floor. I'm old enough to remember going to discos in college, that era. I miss it.
Oh my God. Well, that's a retelling. I meditate and I do remote viewings. And
Very
that's
well.
beer in my mouth. How have you been, by the way, before we get started?
Well,
People are just happy. They're like, oh my God, doctor, you can breathe. You're not dying.
oh, good.
But I still have resin in the house, but I'm just so glad that we treated it.
That's a shame for something you love
Not
so much.
everything. No, I've got the new stuff. But anyway, tell me, how have you been?
Oh, I've been doing just fantastic. Just a good holiday weekend. I've been working on projects, working on my own videos, my own show on the side. Having fun with that. Our mutual friend Tawny Acosta was my guest yesterday, and she is just incredible. And I, of course, met her through you, I think, about 7 years ago. And of course,
it's a small world. It's
spoke adoringly of you on the show, because you did bring us together, and you made that show possible in more ways than one.
Oh, wonderful. And did you get a chance to, let's go ahead and greet everybody. Tell us what you're eating, what you're drinking here on Taco Tuesdays. Be sure and like and subscribe as well if you haven't done so yet. And I think my friend Chuck here, you want to take the lead and say hi to the people in the audience?
Yeah. Okay. I can't use my iPad because I'm using that for something having me read letters. So I'm having to read the small print on my laptop screen here, but I see a lovely compliment. You both inspire me. Thank you very much. I think, Whimsy, we both thank you very much for that. Someone named Creative Love saying, hello, beautiful souls. Well, hello, beautiful soul, right back.
Aww.
We have the nicest people out there. Hi, you two. Well, hi back to you. Happy Tuesdays, you two, from Ann Dillon. Like I said, as I've said before, I've spoken to a number of these people on the phone because they're your clients. I've called them and I've already had some great chats.
Aww, I feel so special. You guys make me feel so loved. It's awesome.
Lots of love for us, and we just send our love right back to you.
And I want to give a special shout out to the all-powerful Joel Tilson. He is the floor director. And he is also mentioning that today was Rosalynn Carter's funeral service. It was quite emotional, I felt.
I cried. I didn't see the actual service, but I saw the news summary. I saw Amy Carter, their daughter, get up and speak, their grandson. And of course, seeing Jimmy Carter himself, 99 years old, in hospice. It was 120 miles to Atlanta for the funeral. He insisted, he was adamant that he was going to be there to say goodbye to his beloved wife. I met Jimmy Carter.
Do tell.
Years ago. Well, very, very briefly. It was, of course, at a book signing. I've told that story before. But I had a minute with him. And I just said, sir, I admire you so much. And there was no BS about that man. He meant what he said, and he looked me right in the eye. I still remember those crystal clear blue eyes. He looked me right in the eye and he said, thank you. I really appreciate that. And he meant it. He really meant it. And I remember just feeling his energy and being very conscious I was in the presence of a great, great soul. I remember that. I could feel that energy from him. So it was hard not to cry a little when I saw him in the wheelchair looking so frail and mourning for his wife. They were married 77 years.
I mean, it is. We do grieve that his wife has passed and he's passing. But at the same time, can't we also celebrate what an amazing thing to have done with his life, to be able to, the work he did for peace and,
True. Top of the mountain life. Of course, a Nobel Peace Prize winner. Very deservedly so. And Rosalynn was there by his side, like when they were built, the houses for humanity Habitats for Humanity they would build. Rosalynn was there also. And she'd be there hammering nails and up on the ladder. And I remember an interviewer said, well, does Jimmy hold the ladder for you? And she says, yes, he holds the ladder and I hammer the nails. She was adamant that she did just as much work as he did.
Oh, that sounds very fair. That
Yeah,
sounds
and there's
very
a
fair.
wonderful book Marlo Thomas and Phil Donahue wrote a couple
Oh,
of
I
years.
remember that. I
That
can't
book,
believe I remember
it was
that.
for their own 40th anniversary. They interviewed 40 famous couples, like what's the secret to your marriage? And
Wonderful.
the chapter on Rosalynn and Jimmy was amazing. And it became very clear those two people had a true partnership. Like when he was running the peanut farm, it was Rosalynn who was doing all the books and managing the business. They were partners even then. But Jimmy
Yeah.
he always recognized what he had in her.
Yeah. Totally
Soulmates.
awesome.
And I heard on the news, he said privately to someone, I have to outlive her because I've got to be here to take care of her to the very end, with her Alzheimer's, her dementia. So he hung on, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy joins her very soon. I think we all know that. He's 99 years old.
The next part that we're supposed to be doing is the book.
Is that the next part we're
We're
supposed to
supposed to be announcing that the book club is good.
I'm sorry, I talked too much, Whimsy.
No. No, you were doing it. No, that's what I'm looking. No, you did exactly what you were supposed to. It was me. I was trying to get you to keep talking because I had to go grab.
Good.
No, you're always.
I have mine here too.
You're always the professional, and you're always rescuing me from myself, and I appreciate that. So,
over the years.
okay, I think that mine is not mirrored, actually, so people should be able to.
Mine mirrored? Oh, shoot. Mine is mirrored.
Yeah, you have to go into your settings and push away from the mirroring, and then it gets rid of the mirroring.
Yeah, I don't know what to hit, and I'm afraid I'll hit the wrong button. And
yeah, probably a good idea to let it go.
I'll let it go. Well,
anyway, so stick around later today. Unfortunately, we did not hear back from Sharon Winters, but
she's not going to be here.
I did not hear back from her. But listen, so I think you liked the book, right?
Yes, I did. Of course I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So stick around after the show. We're going to talk about the book, our impressions of the book. If you are part of our book club, and we meet at the end of every month to discuss a book that has been sent by one of the fans of the channel. We want to keep it people that want to be discovered or who are part of our local community. Sharon Winters, however, she is quite well respected as a writer. And the book we chose it for the Thanksgiving month, Cutted Chicken in Shanghai. I think everyone is absolutely gonna love it. And that's all my announcements. Of course, the amazing Debbie Brady is here.
Hi, Debbie.
Extraordinary. She's also a talent manager. She has been kind enough to create all our merch. Do you have any merch to show?
Yes, I do. I have my Whimsy mug here filled with soda. And let me just set this down because I don't want to spill it on the laptop keyboard.
Oh, that's beautiful. Debbie makes me so pretty. Oh, thank you, Debbie.
She made.
Put the hat on.
Yes, she made a Chuck and Whimsy shirt, which I wear every week. I wash this.
All right. Hope I don't cough. This is in dust. All right. Let's do the empath prayer. And then if people want to do some blitzes, we can do some blitzes. We also are going to talk a little bit about some gossip. Chuck, of course, is going to fill us in on all the latest gossip. Of course, he's also got some new art to celebrate the all-powerful Lucille Ball. All right, let's go ahead and do the empath prayer. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively as a community, we say, Amen.
Amen.
I love that prayer.
I do too.
No, it was so created by this community.
Yeah.
It came from nowhere. It came from nowhere.
Really, it's
It
just
came from nowhere and everywhere.
yeah. Well, my own process for years, whenever I do my journal writing, spirit writing, pendulum work, cards, or whatever, I've always said prayers of protection. Protection against low vibrational energy, bring in light, higher truth. But the way that is worded, it's encoded with such good energy, and it just everything that needs to be said is said in that. So I use it now.
Yeah, I was doing readings and somebody said, could we call on white light protection? And that's how it got started. And then, well, pray for this one. So now they have, and so over time, a prayer emerged. And so it was really a prayer created by the people who watch this channel. And so in a sense, it belongs to all of us and no one. It has no author. The collective is the author. Is that not mind blowing?
But it makes perfect sense. Sense. There's something just very pure and basic and simple, but direct about that prayer.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the art piece today we're looking at.
The art piece today. Well, not to go overboard with Lucille Ball.
Oh, you can never go overboard with Lucy.
Well, some may feel I have. But anyway, I'm going to hold it up. This is a black and white photograph of Lucy in 1939 at RKO Studios. It's one of her glamour photos of the day. I was looking for something of her in Desi that I had done, and I couldn't find anything that I had not shown before. But the reason I thought I'd bring it up today is because November 30th is the 83rd anniversary of their wedding.
Oh my God.
I thought that would be something appropriate to bring up. Wow. And I told the story. Actually have a short. It's, if you can call 17 minutes a short, but I tell the story of their elopement. It's on my channel if anyone wants to watch it. It's probably way too involved here.
Oh my God, they eloped? That sounds like a great story.
They eloped. Yes, they did. It was a very spur of the moment. Lucy had just given an interview to a fan magazine writer called "The Reasons I Will Not Marry Desi Arnaz." And Desi was sitting there in the room laughing because after it was over, he walked up to her and said, well, honey, I'm going to make a liar out of you because we're going to elope to Connecticut tomorrow morning. And Lucy, in her autobiography, said that was probably one of the most impetuous things she ever did in her life because she was a very serious, practical woman in real life. She was so in love. She was so in love. She just melted. And said,
oh my God. I would love a guy to just,
Well, that was it. And
strong, hunking guy to pick you up and who's a nice guy. You want a nice guy to just carry you on.
Well, it was so impromptu it was a Saturday. The jewelry stores were closed and Desi had to go to Woolworths, a department store, 5 and dime department store. He had to buy Lucy a cheap brass band, and that was her wedding ring.
Oh my God, I would have loved it though. God, but it's just the romance of it.
She loved it. She later had it dipped in platinum, but she refused. She refused another wedding ring from Desi. She said, "No, that's my wedding band, and that's what I shall wear." And she loved it. Very sentimental.
Oh my God, that's so lovely. We're getting some questions here, so we might go ahead and do some blitzes. I believe people have given us the order to blitz away.
Here.
On Blitzen. We cannot tell people, only God can tell us when Mr. Carter will leave this earth. We don't make those predictions. I didn't think we were allowed to as psychics, are we?
Well, no. I wouldn't want to make a prediction like that. I mean,
a big no.
I'm of course thinking I hope the dear man is around for a long time to come, but at 99 and after all the service he has given to the world, if he feels it's his time to transition, that's his right.
We want it to be a good passing and we celebrate his life. Yes.
Yeah, he was holding on for Rosalynn, as he said. I have to be around as long as she's around. She needs me. I felt with that statement he's completed his purpose, if that's not too audacious to say. But yes, we love Mr.
Yes. Now we have a question here from Joel Tilson, the floor director. He wants to know, do we anticipate George Santos being out within a week?
Well,
let's do a blitz. Let's find out. Yes or no. You can use your pencil and your cards if you like.
Well, I'll do that too. But let me ask, I can only do one thing at a time. Will
You can. What's that about?
I don't know. So the question is, will George Santos be out in a week? That's a specific question.
Oh, this is so easy for me. Go ahead.
Will he be out in a week? Oh my God. It immediately went toward yes, for whatever that is worth. What did you get? Look at that thing swing.
I feel so much better. You know, I had a really rough week. I feel like I've just, you know, I'm part of the collective. I feel everybody's stuff. If people are upset, you know. So this is some good news. But no, take a look at these cards. I think this is going to bring happiness to all of you. Yes, we've got a 9 of Wands, incarceration, jail. So they are already stripping him of any kind of power in Congress.
Oh.
This guy's contained.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's going to get worse.
Oh, it's going to get worse. That's just the first card. Huh?
You know, the computer is the universe is the great computer in Kabbalistic terms. You know, it's just energy. So you put a question out to the universe responds. Okay, you're going to use cards. It's like shoot, shoot, shoot. It like spits out the answer, right? So who do you think his problem is? Who do you think is George Santos's problem? You think the FBI might be a problem?
That could very well be a problem.
Think the FBI might be charging him and putting him in jail? Which card symbolizes the FBI?
I don't know.
Hidden information. The FBI is the King of Pentacles.
Oh.
So who's his opposition? The FBI. So he's fearing jail.
Yeah.
And his opposition is the feds.
Uh-huh.
What do you think the charges are going to be?
Well, perjury might be one right at the top of the list.
Yeah, but I mean, what is the underlining main thing he's getting caught with?
What
does he keep doing?
Well, he keeps lying.
And he keeps taking, he keeps stealing people's money.
Oh, yes, of course. So embezzlement of some kind.
He's a thief. He stole money from he's a thief. He's going to be charged by the feds. You see how easy these cards are?
Yeah.
The thief's card runs off with the money. So he's facing incarceration under investigation by the feds over charges of theft.
Mm-hmm. You know,
isn't this awesome? Don't you just love our lives? Okay, the final outcome is 8 of Wands, which indicates swiftly. So so in plain words, what they're saying is he has been contained, he has been controlled. This would be my prediction as the reader, and strictly for entertainment purposes. And that the FBI is ready to charge him on, and some of the charges will involve theft. And that this will happen very quickly. But he currently is being denied certain powers in Congress based on these cards.
Now, someone made a point here. Santos is going to snitch on everybody. Do you think maybe he has some dirt on people, and that's why he's been able to go this far without?
Yeah, let's go ahead and pin that and go ahead and have that conversation, folks, before we blitz on it. Let's bring the whole audience in. You know, what are people saying about this? You know, Santos is claiming that New York politics is basically corrupt. And he's basically saying that the FBI in New York, there's been some very strange things that have happened. That guy that wound up talking with Deripaska, you know, the guy that was theoretically on Deripaska's boat, right? The head of the FBI to New York that pleaded guilty. What did he get, a year or something for taking money from Deripaska? So now we have another situation where George Santos is claiming that everybody is in the pocket of who exactly? The mob? What is he exactly claiming? If that's the case, then that's a hell of a story. And I think that's a hell of a snitch. What do you think? You want to ask her? What do you think before we do it?
You know, it just seems like there's a reason he's been able to get away with all this for so long. You know, in my opinion, I think in many of our opinions, he should have been indicted long ago. Should have been months ago. He should have been thrown out. You know, so yeah, I think he has dirt. But then, as it was pointed out by, let's see, Debbie said here, can Santos be trusted to tell the truth? No, he can't be trusted. It's like the little boy who's cried wolf too many times. How can you believe it?
But if there are schemes to rip off the state, you know, this blows my mind, because when you look at the remote views from a couple of years ago, I remember seeing the beginnings of the investigation as a remote viewer and seeing that Robert Mueller that it was going to go to the Capitol steps. And it seemed impossible. It seemed like there was no way that that could happen. And yet that's precisely what has happened.
Yeah.
I mean, this was unbelievable. We didn't believe this could happen. And when did I start making those predictions? 2016, 2017?
Something like that. A long, long time ago. I think around the time I first knew you.
And so here we are. So I guess here's my frustration. If the investigation into this, type of corruption, why has it taken so long? I mean, look at how many horrible things happened while these investigations were going on.
Yeah. Why? It's been the thing I ask every time I see the news. I hear that man talk.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's take a look. Let's see if George Santos is going to give us any important information.
Okay.
Is he going to make a deal?
Is George Santos going to make a deal? Is George Santos going to make a deal? You know what? I'm getting, it's kind of muddled between no and maybe, and the vibe I'm getting is yes, he may try, but I don't think he's going to be successful in doing so. That's kind of what I'm getting. It's kind of muddled on the pendulum.
Yeah, it's interesting, your pendulum, and I'll tell you why I think you're getting, sorry, I need to speak in the microphone. I'll tell you why I think you're getting it like that, because this guy's going to claim that he's mentally insane.
Yeah.
This guy is going to get off and he's going to have a psychiatric eval showing that he doesn't seem to know the difference between truth and fiction. When he makes up a story, he thinks it's real. Mm-hmm. And so every time I go into this, the cards that show up are cards that are associated with health, that this guy is going to be treated with kid gloves, like I'm mentally ill. I did these things because I need to be under psychiatric care. So we have this situation of the Page of Cups, which, when we're talking about pages, we're talking about sometimes it can be like a little child, right? Now, in the African tradition, a Page of Cups corresponded with the African deity Alegba, and that's the energy of being childlike. Someone who never grows up, like Donald Trump, they have that childlike aspect. But there's another aspect to it's often symbols of LGBTQ child as well, the pink tights. So it can be a female or it can be LGBTQ child. The other thing about this card is that it's associated with angels, so the angelic realm. So pages and the angelic realm are related. So when we think about the angel of water or healing waters, that's the realm of Archangel Raphael. Because the domain of healing waters is Archangel Raphael, who brings the medicine, the elixir, right? Yeah. So when you think about the 4 pages, the 4 cardinal angels, right? So we have this guy in this angelic realm of needing to get some help. This is a card of Refuah Shlemak. This is what we say in Hebrew. It's like, this is a guy like, may you speedy recovery. It's that, it's that kind of an energy. And also you have a judgment coming in on him regarding possibly a psychiatric or health issue. His fear is that he will experience incarceration. There it is again. So a guy who is afraid of incarceration may choose to go under a psychiatric evaluation where he can get a judgment, where he would get a lesser sentence. And that would explain why your energy is going.
I was getting that, but heading to maybe also. And I was sensing, he wouldn't be successful in his deal. But then you fight further with your cards.
Yeah, well, the final outcome, 2 of Cups, is to take an offer, so he could take a lesser sentence. I'll do a clarification. But, he has to also write. He has to write a very comprehensive, intense kind of statement to his attorney or something. This guy is going to do everything he can to avoid a prison sentence. You can see him working hard regarding an issue of health, which I assume that's going to be his defense. And then you have conflicts within the judgment about how to proceed. You have some people that really want to go after him, like fear of incarceration. You don't want a King of Wands after you because they want war. And the fact that the Two of Cups is here, and the clarification, by the way, is the Knight of Swords, which is war. It's helter-skelter violence. It could be exactly what you say. He tries to pull this off, but there are people really after him right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You feel Republicans as much as the Democrats?
Oh, probably. I mean, don't you think that this has been a nightmare for the GOP?
It certainly has seemed that way to me, but it seems like they have gone out of their way to protect him up until now.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that a lot of it had to do with the fact that they needed those 3 votes, right? And so, but when the press became so bad, when it became a situation where it started potentially costing them votes later on, or it reflected poorly on the ethics of the whole party.
Yeah.
And I think for that reason, things have shifted.
Oh, good.
Particularly when we get closer to the elect. I think they want him out as soon as possible.
Oh, of course, with the election year coming up.
What do you think about him being deported? This question coming from Joel Tilson. Any chance you think he'll be sent back to Brazil?
Well, can we ask that?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Deported and sent back to Brazil? Will he be deported? I'm getting a maybe leaning toward a yes, like it could very well happen. Not a definite, but I'm getting that where it's leaning maybe toward the yes, quite strongly toward the yes. What are you getting?
I think he's in trouble. He's going to have to really show just cause of he was able to evade prosecution in Brazil. And I don't think they're going to be able to take away his U.S. citizenship because the wish card is with him.
Mm-hmm.
His opposition, Two of Pentacles, back and forth, rocky waters. That could be about deciding what to do with him. He's in a position of power legally. It could be that he is in a strong position legally. Maybe he's been a U.S. citizen. His parents are U.S. citizens.
Yeah,
you can't just,
that would make it much.
U.S. citizen, it's virtually impossible to strip the citizenship from them.
I was just going to say that would make it very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But there could be attempts just the same.
Yes. Well, yeah. I think, hopefully he's not going to be there long because, I don't, how could anybody think that he's good for anybody at this point?
I mean, he's a joke. He's a laughing stock. He's pathetic. I mean, he's long been fodder for all the late night comedians. Late night comedians sometimes say their jokes write themselves, like with people like him.
Well, as many of you may know, it looks off to another topic here. I don't know if you knew about this, Chuck, but the north and south of Gaza are being separated, kind of similar to the oasis idea that we had talked about, a boundary within a boundary.
Yeah.
Looks like Elon Musk visited Israel amid backlash against his endorsement of anti-Semitic post. I guess he said some stupid things in the past. Now he's vowing that he is going to be part of the rebuild of Gaza. So, we're going to build the oasis. The question I'm asking, I guess at this point, what I would like people to talk about is the oasis a great idea that's in the hands of the wrong people? Because I sent a lot of people have been sending the oasis concept. The only difference between me sending it and 10,000 other people sending it is that I coalesced everything in 2.5 pages. But I think they already planned something similar because other people know the studies are universal about you don't have to fight people. You just have to give them something better. And, you secure the perimeter, invite people into something better, you retrain people, etc. So I think everybody was looking at the same data, but it is nice when you get everybody on the same page and say, okay, we got to rebuild, we got to retrain, we've got, and it looks like it's an interesting conversation as a remote viewer too. Oh, MI6 agent on upcoming increase. Somebody just, I don't know. Um, I don't, it's a YouTube video. It's not anything important. Um, I think it speaks to the collective that we were, we were all thinking, okay, we got to have a protective zone. We got to have a cushion. We got to get people, you got to show people how to function that have come, particularly people who've come under this type of horrific. Can you imagine your government being Al Qaeda, right? So, but I do think also that people are starting to get worried when they see Saudi Arabia coming in, Elon Musk coming in, and they think, are we talking chateaus on the Riviera in Gaza? And is
Yeah,
everybody that's a law-abiding citizen and not going to be breaking the law going to be allowed back in?
yeah, yeah.
And so is it going to be an affordable place let's go down here. Is it going to be an affordable place for the people that once lived there that are law abiding? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you think? Are you hopeful? Are you optimistic?
Well, I want to be hopeful. I want to be optimistic, but yet there's something about these billionaires trying to acting like they're world leaders or something because of their wealth. Building their rocket ships to space. What Elon Musk wants to do here. I very much hope the intentions are sincere, and I hope there will be a good outcome from this. Of course, I do.
Sure.
But it's a wait and see. I don't know if other people have opinions here on that, and I see you're a lady with your tambourine ready to shake it. And
we gotta integrate. So we gotta move on to our next segment, which I like to call Ali is trying to kill whimsy.
yeah, let's talk about that one, Lindsay.
Is that the first one? Are we doing? Oh, but before we get to that one, you're like, whimsy, are you sure that's where we're going next?
Is that where we're going next? Well, okay,
Whimsy. Well, yes, let's do this first. Let's do this, and then I think you're going to be giving us a monologue. You're going to be
yes.
Abraham. Are you Abraham from the Bible?
I guess I am today. I can sign that.
Okay,
purpose.
so before we do my performance, we're going to do Chuck's performance. Okay, so we've been talking about Abraham being an amazing man who built an oasis, and he had a big tent with 4 doors, and he had great crowd control. People came in and they left thinking, man, Judea is a pretty rock and sockin' place. They're very generous to the ger. Right? In Hebrew, the stranger. Be kind to the stranger, for you too were once strangers in the land of Egypt, right? So he got this understanding that he had to be kind to the guest, right?
Yeah.
And he avoided much violence through what is known as benign dominance. Abraham bought the land, he secured the land, but he left the door open so that people could join the party. And so when we think about the promise of Abraham, it's that the tent, the oasis that he was creating of goodness, would extend into the stars. And so when I read about the life of Chief Powtanon, do you know the story of Chief Powtanon?
Yes. Well, I'm from Virginia originally.
Oh, can you tell us a little bit about who he was and what happened? Tell us a little bit about that, man.
In history, in grade school, we were taught Virginia state history along with American history and, of course, later world history in high school. But Chief Powtanon was the father, I believe, of Pocahontas.
Yes.
Pocahontas's father. And Chief Powtanon was definitely a man of peace and wisdom. And, of course, the history books have just skewered the story and fictionalized him, and between that and the Disney movies and so forth. But I mean, this little piece you sent me to read, I just see beautiful wisdom from this man.
So, yes. So what happened is that Captain John Smith had complex post-traumatic stress disorder. He had been I think they said some kind of a Turkish prison at one point. So he was paranoid. He was frightened of foreigners. He came into the land violent and psychotic. And we have a man here, Chief Powtanon, who is demonstrating all the same characteristics of, when you think about it, Abraham and the nation of Israel, which he built. And it really speaks to that Bedouin culture of like extending the tent. So without further ado, will you read the letter, please?
From
that Chief Powtanon gave to Captain John Smith when Captain John Smith and his men were circling and attempting to kill him.
Yeah, this was his letter to John Smith. Yes. I am now grown old and must soon die, and the succession must descend in order to my brothers, Opachapam, Opachano, and Kakata, and then to my 2 sisters and their 2 daughters. I wish their experience was equal to mine, and that your love to us might not be less than ours to you. Why should you take by force that from us which you can have by love? Why should you destroy us who have provided you with food? What can you get by war? We can hide our provisions and fly into the woods, and then you must consequently famish by wrongdoings of your friends. What is the cause of your jealousy? You see us unarmed and willing to supply your wants. If you come in a friendly manner, not with swords and guns as to invade an enemy, I am not so simple as not to know that it is better to eat good meat, lie well, and sleep quietly with my women and children, to laugh and be merry with the English, and, being their friend, to have copper, hatchets, and whatever else I want, than to fly from all, to lie cold in the woods, feed upon acorns, roots, and such trash, and to be so hunted that I cannot rest, eat, or sleep. In such circumstances, my men must watch, and if a twig should break, all would cry out, "Here comes Captain Smith." And so, in this miserable manner to end my miserable life, and Captain Smith, this might soon be your fate too, through your rashness and unadvisedness. I therefore exhort you to peaceable counsels, and above all, I insist that the guns and swords, the cause of our jealousy and uneasiness, be removed and sent away.
He built an oasis.
Yeah, that he did.
And he saved them.
Yes.
And he adopted them. Yeah, right. He part of the family, made him part of the family, right? We don't want to kill you, we want to love you. So that is a great diplomat, right? That is somebody, unfortunately, the only problem is he didn't secure the land. The first part of that, if he had secured the land and been like, it's my way or the highway, then I think, because the treaty was broken so many times by the British.
Yes.
So I thank you for reading that. I just thought you're such a beautiful actor and you would give it justice.
Thank you. Thank you for sending it to me and calling it to my attention today.
Okay, well, after that lovely reading of Captain Powtanon, now we get to start my favorite part of this silly
favorite part of this show. What is that, my darling?
This is episode 2 of Ali trying to kill Whimsy.
Oh, episode 2 of this. Now, how does this saga go, Whimsy?
Well, I'm working on the whole violin thing, but, it's not good. Now, in episode 1, as I recall, we were talking about the fact that, let me see if I can find this. All right. I think we should just start with the basics.
The basics. Okay. Oh, that man needs a makeover.
Yes. Okay. So as you know, this is a man who's claiming he's going to kill all the Jewish people. He's going to kill the Israelis. I think he doesn't like gay people, Americans either. We're little America. He plans on going after you folks.
He needs to get over himself. I mean,
Well, I figure if I invited him to tea, and he hung out with Whimsy, maybe he could get to know what,
get out your good china.
Well, you know what real Israelis look like. And Yes, I am the Tokyo Rose of Tel Aviv.
Yes.
By way of Portland, Oregon.
You're the pokey toky.
I got like a drum thing going.
Yeah.
I am your Tokyo Rose. I am your Tokyo Rose. I am your Tokyo. I'm gonna work on those lyrics. So listen.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to talk.
You're not going to play your violin?
I didn't like the outfit. And I thought what I would do is I would make him more of an Israeli. You know,
I was just thinking a new
well,
hairdo.
if he puts the guns down and he comes into my oasis, we can have tea together. See, I got tea.
Yeah.
She is waiting for him.
I mean,
I'll put extra cardamom. That's how they like it.
He looks so grumpy.
No, well, I said that last week it looked like his wife had stolen the blow dryer, and he was stuck in a towel mat. And you said that he needed accessorizing. Well, nobody is braver when it comes to their hair than a Jewish woman in her 60s.
Oh my God! Give him
particularly if she retires in Florida.
Give him some little flip curls and a little.
I just decided to make it turn him into a Zionist. To turn him into
whimsy.
This is my art piece. It's an original to help him because he's very scared of Israel. He's very scared of Zionist and Jewish people. And you know, I don't, you know, Ben Shapiro scares me too, you know.
Well, first of all, I love rainbow termite.
Not all Zionists or conservatives. No, but so here's what I did. The first thing is that I wanted to give him. He has strange ideas about gay people. Also, did you know that?
Yes, I heard that.
Yes, very homophobic. So I wanted to give him like a Jewish old lady from who's retired in Florida, who's fearless, does his hair, and I really wanted to make a statement. And I feel personally, this is better. This is an improvement.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, he's even smiling now. He looks happy.
Well, he's smiling because I gave him some of Tel Aviv's finest marijuana. I think we grow that actually in the Golan Heights.
Toki Rose.
Yes, and as you can see, he's holding a piece of paper. I think that might be his wife's. She might have given him a grocery list or something. Yeah. I put flowers all around because we have beautiful flowers in the Golan. You know that we have the most beautiful flowers in Israel and they grow all year round. And I wanted him to experience that. We've got our proud Israeli flag there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And as you can see, because I like stickers as a child, you know, it was a motivator in school, right? Who doesn't like a good sticker? I love stickers.
I think you should have given him a flower print muumuu. You know?
Oh, you know, maybe next time. I actually think that's not a bad idea. So
maybe a little diamond in the ear, you know.
And then finally this symbol up here, which means life, because Jewish people love life.
Yeah.
And we celebrate life. So there you go.
There you go.
The new and improved Khomeini Ali, who's trying to kill Whimsy. What do you think?
Well,
give it to me. Feedback.
Well, he may want to kill you even more after that makeover, but I love it. I think
it's fantastic.
Fine. I say 2 snaps up, darling.
Well, you know, I've been writing Sir Elton John several times.
Yes, tell me. I heard about this.
I've told him I need him to be my Moses.
Yeah.
I be my Moses, and when this nightmare ends and it's safe, hopefully he can come to North Gaza when everything is nice and safe, and be the first performer to perform there in the safe zone and bring people together. And wouldn't that be his greatest concert ever?
I think it would be. I mean, come on. We know when these entertainers say they retired, that's a lot of BS. They always come back a year later. I changed my mind. I went to Cher's alleged final concert at the Hollywood Bowl, paid a lot of money for that. And a year and a half later, she was doing a residency in Vegas. And I heard—
Oh, really?
Yes, and I've heard Elton John did retire once before this and came back. So what's to stop him from doing it again?
Well, you should see the letters I'm writing him, and you should write them to Rocket Man, editor at Rocket Man.
I love that.
And he'll get it. But
yeah, I hope so. I agree with you. I think this could
I would love to see him in North Gaza with his beautiful gold cape. We can fly him in on helicopter. What do you say? Land right on the stage.
Oh,
Come out there right in the area where they were like, you know how many innocent people in the LGBTQ community were thrown off in that area? So to have him be the one to break ground,
that would be beautiful.
would be so powerful in so many ways.
Yeah, you're so
because it's all about safe zones and it's all about people being safe. And isn't that really what freedom and democracy is all about?
Of course it would be. I think I agree with you. This could be his greatest achievement, if he or come out of retirement just for this. This is something very meaningful and important. I heard you talking about it on your show. I think you mentioned it on the Sunday show, didn't you? You were talking about how you were trying to get Elton John.
Yeah. So that brings us to, did we get a good conversation about this yet? I mean, I don't think we've really talked about the concerns people have about large money coming into these areas, though.
Yeah.
What happens when wealthy Saudi kings decide that they want to build the best possible hotel on the Gaza Strip? Are we talking about the people of Gaza being waiters, or are they going to have an affordable place to live when this is over?
Yeah,
That's not what the Oasis project fantasy I had was.
Exactly. And
folks might have a different plan than me. I don't know.
Well, no, you would not surprise me if that's the plan. Oh, we'll just give people jobs in this fancy hotel for the rich, as opposed to affordable, equal housing for people. I don't know. I mean, I hope that's not the case, but when you're dealing with someone like Elon Musk, we don't know what his motives are.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we all have. In some of the comments here, I have seen there is a general mistrust of the man. And as I even said earlier, there's just a general mistrust we have for all of these billionaires who are trying to buy power and acting like they're world leaders by virtue of their wealth, building their rocket ships and running for public office or what have you, what Elon Musk is doing. But let's hope for the best. Let's pray for the best.
Yeah. So we have a question here from Joel Tilson, the floor director. He wants to know, how long do you think between the mullahs are gone? Do you think that if there's a concerted effort put by Arab leadership, like what we're seeing in Saudi Arabia and Bahrain and United Arab Emirates, how long is it going to take them to diffuse a lot of this? Because it's really scary to see what's happening.
Yes. It is.
Let's go ahead and do you have cards you want to do? Not really a yes/no question.
Well, yes/no questions are generally better with the pendulum. I have oracle cards that more or less just talk about the energy, the overall mood of a situation.
Yeah, let's do the overall energy for the rebuild and see what we get.
Okay, I'm going to shuffle these here, the oracle cards. I keep forgetting they're out of camera range here. Forgive me, folks, but
that's okay.
I'm going to pull a card here. I realize my mirror is backwards here, but it's the card of devotion, nature spirits.
Oh,
devotion,
wow.
Devotion.
Good.
Loving devotion. I take that to mean people being mindful of the higher purpose here, the higher intention, to focus on the love. That's what's behind the devotion, the higher good. So that I see that as a good sign. Now, what are you getting, Lucy?
Yes, I think that's true. I mean, people are not doing anything yet. I know they're taking suggestions from all kinds of people. I was able to get a suggestion in. But you have this dialogue happening. 5 of Wands can be like a debate, an intense debate.
Yeah.
Regarding the issue of the Oasis, the businessman is giving large amounts of money from a place of love. Yes, there are going to be some financial benefits, but I think the king of Saudi Arabia and many parts of the world, these donations will truly be given in love. And I think that's, to my surprise, what they're saying about Elon Musk, because you have his card with the Ace of Cups coming in.
I'm glad to hear that. I think we all have had our suspicions of him, but as I said a moment ago, let's hope for the highest good. Hope that his intentions are good. And
right.
I pulled that devotion card, and what you're pulling right there, that sounds very positive to me.
Yeah, and so, the fear is the devil, corruption, greedy people, but I don't see that. I think people want war so badly that they will do everything in their power to diffuse the situation because you have an ace of wands, which is like the strong. Remember, wands are always about territory because it's the fire sign and they like plow ahead, like my way or the highway, boom, boom, with that wand. Ace of Wands can be entrepreneurship, and it can happen very quickly, like within 30 days. We're talking about Israel wanting to go in there as quickly as possible and start bulldozing and putting up temporary housing and
Yeah,
getting people in as fast as possible with the strength card. I'm very happy.
there's definitely an urgency here, a
Yeah.
need for expediency. I think, yeah, people want this war to end as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so I think we're going to get that Gaza oasis, and I think that it's going to have some ritzy parts, but from that, I really think that a lot is going to be given back to the people in love, and you know, not everybody is going to want to be part of the West, and that means people may stay in the South. But I don't think that it will. I don't think that when you offer somebody something like the Oasis, I don't think suffering and being in poverty and not having resources when all your friends are at the local Oasis disco getting girlfriends. I mean,
Yeah.
and having great food and going to great schools. Would you rather have that or live in poverty in the South? And so the concept of benign dominance is all you have to do is secure the area and give people something better. And then once trust is established, you can re-educate people and give them a life. But you look at the story of uh, Pocahontas and Captain John Smith, where there's a ceremony where they adopt and they present like they're going to come and kill John Smith, and then instead she goes and she covers him with
Mhm.
herself, which is
That's the legend.
adoption. It's a ceremony of adoption. But the point is that there comes a point when somebody is so emotionally unstable and dangerous, you literally have to disarm them. You have to physically put your hands on them and disarm them. And it got to a point with these people where they were coming up with all kinds of psychological tricks just to get the gun away from John Smith and put their hands on him and say, clearly, I'm not going to kill you because my daughter's body is thrown in front of you to let you know we clearly do not mean you any harm. And that was that the light bulb came off. Oh, do you not see my daughter is in front of you? I'm not going to harm you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's also like that song, A Time for Peace and a Time for War. War is horrible. But unfortunately, and it's always the last choice, but unfortunately, it's sometimes necessary. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll take one more question before we close today, and then we're going to start our book club.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Do we have another question here? I'm looking. Does anybody have a question?
Sue Malik says when you're a musician, it's in your blood. I think that's true. I mean, that's why I think Elton John, he's the one. It has to be him. If somebody else comes in, it'll be okay. If somebody else does the concert, but it just won't be the same.
Well, he's of the old guard. He's a great legend. I mean, I could think. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think who would be as good as Elton. I think for the reasons you mentioned, the fact that he is a publicly gay man, he's an institution. There would be enormous symbolism.
He wants peace. He integrates. It would be a neutral zone, so he doesn't have to make a political statement. He just this is my statement. My music is my statement. Come together, make music, and stop hurting each other. So, yeah, Joel, I think we're seeing what's emerging. If you look at the remote views and everything that we've been talking about, is that that is exactly what they're going to do. They're separating the North and the South. And the people that pass security checks are going to be let in, and they're going to rebuild and slowly. I think it's good. I think it's a very good thing. I mean, like anything in life, like you said, there'll be ups and downs. And it's funny. Joel Tilson says that Elon Musk needs to do an apology tour. That's very.
Happen.
Oh my goodness.
Whimsy. Can you think of some others besides Elton? Like Debbie just said, have you considered Neil Diamond, for example? Somebody
Neil
like
Diamond would be nice. It would be, a lot of people think that if it should, that the Gaza rebuild project, the concert should include more than just him.
you know who I'm thinking? My idol, Barbara Streisand.
Yes, I mean, we can get some really big money in there.
Oh, Barbara
But
Streisand.
this is, once it becomes an oasis zone, to have the most powerful people in the world having to be helicoptered, to have him come in with his black cape in the middle of that. I mean, that is such a powerful statement about life and about freedom, that I think that if you're a young child who's come from, such an oppressive society as Hamas, and one night somebody hoists you on their shoulders and said, that is what freedom is, I can't imagine they would ever forget that night.
No.
And that's the power of music, right? And that's the power of art.
Yeah. But, I could see easily, if Elton did this, other stars jumping on board, like Neil Diamond. Someone said Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, like the superstars of superstars who would see this as like an ultimate concert. Barbara Streisand, with her great allegiance to Israel.
Yeah.
What a night that would be, to call attention to this, and just think of the fundraising that could be done throughout the world. The whole world would be watching this concert.
Yeah. Don't you think the entire world, if there was an open door concert and 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 people in a controlled setting, where in an oasis after this hell, and they're just listening to Elton John, Don't Let the Sun Go Down, I mean, all that other stuff, and just experiencing peace together.
Oh my God.
Music is not just about music. It's sometimes something like a concert can convey more than somebody just, you read my peace proposal. How about we stop doing all of that, and let's just start showing people what an oasis looks like. Yeah. And I think I really believe this.
I love that idea very much.
Well, are you ready to go on to we have another comment? I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
Oh, I just said, write those letters, folks, please.
Yeah, write those letters, and also letters to Elon Musk. So yeah, everyone who's contributing.
Yeah. No, I get goosebumps thinking about stars of that caliber joining forces together.
Oh, I think it's already a done deal. You know that we're talking about it because they're talking about it. We're talking about it because we're all in the same wavelength, and because we all are such good people that really cannot bear to see children suffer. We can't bear to see the insanity. We can't innocent people in their homes attacked. All of this insanity. We just want to clear it all away and create something beautiful in its place. Oh, I want to do one more question, because Joel has one more for us, and then we're going to get to the book club for people. Joel wants to know if, yes or no, will there be a revolution in Iran, and will it topple the Iranian government?
That's a powerful question. Will it topple the government?
Cool. Joel Tilson is a really cool genealogist. He knows everything about his family.
I'm getting, should I tell you?
Yeah.
I'm getting a no, but not a strong no. Like that, I don't see the Iranian government being toppled, but yet it's not a firm no.
Yeah. You and I are kind of in simpatico. I like reading with you because we're both feeling the same stuff, and then I like to add the cards. Yeah. So you know what topples him is that they don't think he's good for the economy of Iran. That's what ultimately takes out Khomeini, because you see him leaving, and the fundamental reason is because the experts in the government felt the guy was a threat to the economic future of the country. You can see economic concerns causing an oust of Khomeini. But what's interesting is you have all this conflict amongst his allies about what to do with him. You have potentially his own military turning on him or a possible military coup. That's because you have this alliance forming with the military that is placing him in threats. He's concerned about an alliance. You know, they could be thinking, you're going to get us wiped out, and they're going to drop a bomb on Tehran if we don't take this nut job out. So, and then we have 10 of Cups, peace will reign in the land within 1 year. So I think not right away, but his days are numbered with those cards. And I would also say with those cards that he's become such a severe economic liability, never mind a threat to the entire of Iran, that they will find a way of squeezing him out to save their country. That's what it looked like, which is not as a revolution, right?
Yeah.
It's not exactly the same. Well, it is if the military does it. But what's interesting about those cards is it's really done more quietly. It looked like it was almost like it was just a group of people saying, you can't stay, you have to go, rather than some massive thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so thank you everybody who's been joining us. I'm going to go ahead and ask Debbie Brady if she can roll the magical wand of being her magical self, and please select our winner for this month's raffle. And so while she is doing that, once a month we give a free reading to someone who's a member of our fan pages over at Facebook. If you would like to be a member and possibly win a free reading with me, be sure and subscribe over at our Facebook pages. And so while she is getting that ready, yes, we want the winner today because it's the last Taco Tuesday of the month of November. Yes.
Yes.
And that's how we do it. So let's
so I can call them tomorrow to book an appointment for you.
That's right. So getting on to the book. So the book we selected, we talked about it, Sharon Winter. She, it was in 1996, was it? She moved with her husband for a couple of years to 1997 to Shanghai, China. We picked it because we wanted to do something that was festive about, culture. Her pictures are great, by the way.
Oh, I love that aspect of it because so many times, of course, the beauty of a book is using your imagination and picturing it in your head as you're reading. But it's also nice when they just have the photos in here and show you literally what it is you're visualizing. And it's kind of fun that when it matches, like, when she describes her tiny, tiny little kitchen. Remember that with the barely any counter space.
Yeah.
She said she was given an oven that was about 10 inches wide. She said, well, I can't make a Thanksgiving turkey in that. So it was fun to hear the description. And then I'm turning some pages and there's a picture of the kitchen. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah. I mean, it was really based on her journals. I really got into this whole idea of the importance of two worlds. The fact she contacted an expatriate association in Shanghai.
Yeah.
And she was packing to move when her husband went to Shanghai, when they moved to Shanghai. But what I thought was so interesting about that was she really talked about what you have to let go of when you move to a foreign country.
Yes. That made me think a lot, because in my youth, I toyed with the idea. I know you have lived abroad. I toyed with it like 24 years old, and I went to Europe the first time, and I just fell in love with Europe. I did not want to come back to America, and I was seriously toying with the idea of moving permanently to England, thinking England would be easy, being the same language and so forth, culture a little similar to America. I was pursuing it, and then I realized what it was going to mean to sacrifice. It was going to mean giving up most of my possessions I have here in America, which also included being away from my friends, my family. And this was back in the 1980s before we had the internet and FaceTime and things like that. It was a much bigger deal to be separated from your friends and family, move abroad. So I got that in the book when she talked about the things you have to let go of. But I know you mean it also metaphorical things she had to let go of.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking? She could have gotten herself a Dutch oven because she could have put the turkey inside of a Dutch oven and everything. And it's so heavy and put it on the top and then moved it. She might have been able to have done it that way.
you're speaking as someone who cooks. I don't
Right?
cook, so
You're like, okay, Whimsy. Um, one of the things I also noticed when I was in Shanghai, like she was in Shanghai in 1997 and I was there in 2010. So 12, 13 years later, I think I was in Shanghai. Had a great time there, but
she was there around that time,
yeah,
or not too long after you.
who was?
My sister
Oh,
Dinah.
cool.
I'm trying to remember. This might have been like 2013, 2014 in that area. But anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you because I'm sure you have wonderful things to say about Shanghai.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah.
Would you like to read Debbie, what Debbie Brady has selected a winner?
Yes. Debbie Brady, drum roll, please. Young. Kay Young, if you're in the house, I will give you a phone call tomorrow, and we'll see what we can book you for your free reading with Dr. Whimsy. You're very,
Just send an email to whimsyanderson@gmail.com.
yeah.
But whimsyanderson@gmail.com, and then we will get you set up. Chuck will contact you. It'll all be good.
Oh, yeah, we'll get you all set up for an appointment. But you know what? Since my sister wanted to go to Shanghai, our grandfather was there. And you have to understand, my mother, I was a late life baby. My mother had me at 40. Her parents had her when they were in their 40s. So I actually have a grandfather I never knew. He died long before I was born. But I have a photograph of him in Shanghai in 1902 when he was about 23 years old. Which thing, he was in the Navy. But that was a rare thing in those days for an American to even travel abroad anywhere, much less go all the way across the Pacific to China. And so he was there. So my sister went to try to find the places where our grandfather was. And she was telling me about Shanghai, where half of it is the old Shanghai and half is very, very modern and new. And I should let you talk since you've been there, but that was her observation to me. But I enjoyed that when I was reading the book. I was thinking about my grandfather.
Yeah, and she shows like this is the new Shanghai and the old Shanghai. In the part about the book where she talks about packing foods, I thought that was really smart because I don't really think like that. But what can you not, when you go into another country, as long as they were gone, you have to ask yourself, what are you going to be able to let go of? For me, what I learned that I don't have it very often, but I really love it when I get it is nacho cheese flavored Doritos.
Oh, and I take it you can't find them there.
No, and same with Israel. I couldn't get them in Israel. I don't think they're kosher. But yeah, so her husband in the book, they do things that I would have done. Like they packed a bunch of cans of tuna fish, but I think he could get.
I remember that, yeah.
And cans of, they also canned Hormel beef stew, right?
Oh yes, there was a joke in there where instead of Dinty Moore, he called it Demi Moore.
Oh yeah, Dinty Moore soup. So yeah, so I thought that was an interesting insight into culture in the sense that, when we go to live somewhere, there are things we know we're not going to be able to live without. The other thing I thought was interesting is that when she goes to the apartment, there's like literally nothing in the apartment. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Like
she said there was no refrigerator. I think, if I remember correctly, no refrigerator. And I don't think there was even an oven. Was there? I mean,
literally nothing. There was nothing.
There was nothing in there. And there was also a funny little thing in there where she was trying to say furniture store in Mandarin. And didn't the man end up taking her to a discotheque or I forget? He took her to someplace absurd. It was not a furniture store.
That's something that always happens when I was in Shanghai. No matter where I told them to take me, they always took me to the same damn place, which is the downtown shopping area where the Americans are. So I'll say, I'd like to go try, this in the North neighborhood. They have no idea. And they always take you here.
Yeah.
This is where they take you. And then they drive away and just like, I'll figure it out.
Well, I thought it was interesting in the book. She pointed out the difficulty of the Mandarin language. I know, because I'm trying to take classes right now to learn another language. And for me, it is so hard because I am not talented in that respect. I know some people pick up languages easy. I don't. And she was talking about the complexity of the Mandarin language, how, like they'll send people away on these 6-month intensives to learn a language.
Right.
She said to learn Mandarin. Now, I'm misquoting this, but I think she said something like 36 months or something. It was some long period it takes to learn the Mandarin language. It's considered one of the 5 most difficult languages in the world. And she pointed out how even words, the tone that you say the word in completely changes the meaning of it. So I thought, oh my gosh, I don't know how I would deal with that. My hat is off to you, Whimsy, that you were able to do it. I'm assuming you had to experience the Mandarin language.
All I knew how to do was say "shay shay, thank you," but it was very frustrating.
You know where to ask for the toilet or anything like that.
I think we had plaques that we could in writing or something. But
good.
Yeah, it was a very, very intense experience. There was a couple of other things I wanted to ask about it. I can't remember what I was going to ask.
I wish she was here today. I was so disappointed she couldn't make it.
Yeah. The first thing was, like the whole idea of having to let everything go. What will you take with you if you're going to be gone that long? And also loving yourself enough to say, I'm taking this with me because I can't live without it. Why be without it? Like, I would have just gone to Shanghai. I wouldn't have packed anything. I think when I was there, I packed protein bars, and I did go to Chabad Lubavitch for food because there was some questionable food.
Yeah. Oh, I've heard the stories. I have had friends who've gone there. My sister's been there, and that's a major cosmopolitan city. I've known people to go into little villages and communities in China where it is shocking the things you eat.
Right. So that was why I went to Chabad, because it was kosher and it was clean. But the other thing,
no Korean barbecue, right?
No, nothing like that. Because you don't know what you're barbecuing.
I know, that's what I meant by what I said. I've heard they use the entire animal. I mean, like
the entire animal, which is really good, but it's just not the way Americans think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and donkey soup and dog and donkey is on the menus.
I would cry. Dogs. No, poodle soup. I keep thinking the Barbra Streisand song "Come to the Supermarket in Old Peking," and one of the lyrics is "Noodle soup, poodle soup."
Yeah, they do have that.
Yeah.
Okay, best part about the book. What was your best part about the book?
Oh, best part about the book. Well, I just love, I adore travel. I haven't done it in years, but it just brought back all my memories of all my journeys to Europe, all the times I've gone. Every time it's been an adventure. Every single time I've ever traveled, it's been a great inward experience as much as an outward journey, how much I learn about myself, how much it imprints me, how I always take that back with me, and how it's part of me to the present day. I always carry my trips with me in my heart. It's often the little experiences, the things she writes about in this book, that's what it rekindled for me personally. That's what I was enjoying.
Yeah,
I don't know.
too.
So,
well, I wanted to announce next month's book for the month of but I'm glad we both liked it.
Oh, very good.
Yeah,
Yes.
make sure and let us know what you thought. Now, next month's book for the month of December is the last book in our book club for the year 2023.
Oh, tell me. I don't even know myself.
Well, we'll be coming back mid-January, I think, right? Don't we have a 3-week off?
Well, you're going to be leaving.
Well, but we were going to do it anyway. Because it was the end of the season.
Well, I know you told me
we're already on 22.
Yeah, because you told me to block out 2.5 weeks on your schedule for you. So I'm assuming that would be mid-January.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So then we'll be back in mid-January. Okay, silent power of words. The silent
Ooh,
power of words is,
wow.
yeah, it's a series of meditations, and it was written the author Griselda Steiner, and I hope she'll be able to
I'm
attend.
loving you.
I hope he'll be able to attend the readings. It's going to be probably around December 21st, right around there. It's going to be before I leave. I'm flying out on the 25th, and it is a Christmas tale. So we'll probably be finishing this up. When are we going to have the book club meet again? Because people want to know when's the next meeting.
Well,
It's going to be early. It's going to be Tuesday, December 19th.
ooh.
We will be because the following week I'll be flying out. So
Well, you better get my copy to me quick so I can start reading.
yes, I will absolutely. The Silent Power of Words, Griselda Steiner. It's a series of poems about the mystical and the spiritual, and I think everyone is absolutely going to love it. It's exactly what we need for the Hanukkah Christmas time, the
Yeah.
Kwanzaa time. We want things that are spiritual, things that lift up the light, etc.
Yeah.
And if you are somebody who is a writer and you would like us to contribute your book for our monthly book club, please reach out to us. Send your book to, 1819 Southwest 5th Avenue, Suite 116, Portland, Oregon, 97201. And then we may feature your book. I think I've already selected books for January, February, etc. But we are definitely accepting more books for the year.
Well, we love books.
We do love books.
We're avid readers.
We are. Now, how was this day? Was it a good? Did you have fun on?
I always have fun. I love being here. I love doing this.
Yeah.
I was just thinking today, because I started this in July with you, and it was kind of all new to me. We had all the microphone problems, sound problems, lighting problems, internet problems in the beginning, me just learning the ropes. And I thought today, I don't feel any nerves. I don't feel any stage fright. I just
Yeah.
forward to being on the air with all you guys and being with you. And this feels like home.
Yeah, it's easy breezy. We do things easy breezy here.
No, I love this. And I'm doing my own now.
Would you please announce to everybody what's going on with you?
Well, we moved Chuck's Captivating Chat to Mondays, where we were doing it on Wednesdays. Just had a wonderful show yesterday with the wonderful therapist Tani Sophia Acosta, and it's on my channel, Chuck's Captivating Chronicles. Please like and subscribe, but it's recorded, it's on there. It's a really good interview.
Beautiful.
And things to say, and of course she's we both love her very much.
Yeah,
like we said on the show, we love you very much. We said hi to you. We didn't know if you were watching or not.
I did. Well, no, I got there late. I did watch, but I was like 10-15 minutes late because I was coming back from finally getting the passport situation. I didn't get the passport thing set up.
I'm glad you got that settled.
And, of course, I also had to stop for a beer and a happy hour before that. So
of course you did. Yeah.
I was running. I was very stressed out, and I was running out. And yes, they had this. Those of you who keep kosher, look away. I had the coconut shrimp skewers. They were like $4 or something at this happy hour. So I was like in the Sephora, and it was like, because I had a really rough day yesterday. Everything was everything. That was it was a rough day. But you know what? I went and I had a Sephora, and I had a little bit of a tapas, and then I came home and watched you. You gave me a very nice tarot reading, by the way. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, it was actually oracle card reading, and I had Tawny sitting here witnessing it because that last card, there were a couple of cards that were like, where's this going? But the last card I pulled was so positive for you, and Tawny was sitting here, saw me pull it, and I said, Tawny, you're my witness. So Whimsy doesn't think that I just pulled a card and made it up. No, that was real for you.
Woohoo! True love coming my way. All right.
You got some good stuff coming for you, Dr. Whimsy. Yeah. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Well, if you're trying to get in for...
You know what was fun? That was only my second interview I've ever done. Only my sixth show. First one was was with Sandra Rogers,
Right. That's right.
Queen. But we did that, on the internet. This was the first time I had a live in-person guest sitting on my couch beside me. She actually came over here to do it. She was in town just for the day.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right. Well, if you're trying to get in for a tarot reading with me, I do telephone readings. You can check the information below. If you need to see me as a naturopathic doctor or medical intuitive, that information is also below. Also, if you'd like to find out about Chuck's artwork, you can check him out at chuckdransfield.com. Anything else you want to add on that?
Well, you can also email me. Well, you can contact my manager, Debbie Brady. And you, of course, can email me at dransfieldchuck@gmail.com.
Sounds awesome.
Yes.
All right. Be well, everyone. Is that okay? Be kind to all so that all can be kind to you too. We'll see you next time, everyone.
It's been a fast 90 minutes, Lindsay.
What?
This has been a fast 90 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Can you believe it? It's 6:27. We're out of here.
Yeah, 90 minutes.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.